I did not expect the queue to pop so quick. Hey everyone, I'm Audios Wolf, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. As you can see, we are continuing even today. I did not expect the queue to pop that quickly. Antifa is conceived into the Idol of Darkness.
So many of them. But nothing we can't handle.
Alright, let's see if I remember how this goes. Okay, balance. And you get the arrow. Wait. I forgot to turn up my sound. Got to do this. There we go, that's better. Sides. Break it. Yep. Yep. The orange one first. Here. Kill the mechanic. Whee! Oh god. Okay, this person needs friends. Me and the other astrologue have the exact same idea. Good. Oh god. Maybe pounds. Oil, you take that. Oh, this is one of... I forget how this one goes. Do we have to stay in the same color or the opposite color? The opposite color. Got it. Purple. Oh, the poor goo. Spread out. Down higher for star. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay, I got it. Got it! Ah, we got that. Nice. Ah! Nope. Didn't get out that time. That's okay, that's okay. That. That is what I need. So I want to here. Move. Move. Yeah. These people be friends. You can have this. You can have this. Okay, I need white first. You, and then you. Or not. I remember that being a lot harder. I remember that being a lot harder. I mean, I don't need any of those. I can have them. She won't wake up. What do we do? I don't have an answer for you, Irene. What is this place? Where is everyone? So, I'm all alone. Even the fairy is gone. Endless silence, endless darkness. Is this what death feels like? It's no use. No one can hear me. How ironic. All those times I wanted peace and quiet, and now that I finally have it, I wish I had someone to talk to. I thought I couldn't stand to be around them, all their interfering and fussing, and yet I was never lonely. But it's no use. Even after everything we went through, my memories still won't come back. There is no future awaiting me, only emptiness. Those memories, they can stay lost forever, if only this pain will leave me. Now, I close my eyes and sink into darkness. And I'll suffer no more. Gaia! Mother, Father. Wake up! I understand now. Why wait for tomorrow to claim us? Gaia, can you hear me? This perfect moment never has to end. I'm not giving up on you, Gaia. Say something. What do you want? Please, I'm begging you. Remember all the things we said we'd do? Like going to the second serving for coffee biscuits. I never... Gaia? I never agreed to anything of the sort. Oh, thank goodness! I was so worried about you! Ugh, do you have to be so loud? The fairy fell silent, only to be replaced by Reen's voice ringing through my head. I never thought I would be so glad to hear it. You've all gone through a lot of trouble on my part. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Anyway, I've delayed you for long enough. Please carry on with what you came to do. Oh, that bomb fell over. That's okay. I'm glad you're back to your usual self, but how are you feeling? Much better now, but something is still bothering me. The fairy spoke to me in a dream, and a stream of memories rushed through my mind. I don't recall anything like this happening before, and I'm not sure what it all means. What sort of memories? I can't make any sense of them. They were only brief flashes seen through someone else's eyes. At least, that's what it felt like. Minfilia, that is, the Oracle of Light, once served Hydaelyn as the word of the Mother. If the Oracle of Darkness is her counterpart under Zodiark, then we had best prepare ourselves for the worst. Aye, the Knight's return did tip the ethereal balance towards activity, which may serve to awaken the fragment of his power in the first. Having thus roused, he did then fix his gaze upon she who had been marked by darkness, Gaia. Marked or no, Gaia's still her own person. Everything alright? It's nothing. Anyway, let's forget about all that for now. There'll be plenty of time to think it through once that last element is restored. If thou believest thyself well enough, then I see no reason for delay. Let us forthwith attend to the revitalization of ice. Shiva then. Kaharu, as the only one here to have actually seen the primal, perhaps you could describe her for us. A woman named Yazel made herself a vessel for Shiva. So she summoned into her body the imagined essence of someone who lived over 1,000 years ago? That such a thing should be possible. The long since departed Shiva was a source of great inspiration to Yazel, whose method of summoning differed greatly from any we had previously encountered. By the echo did she bear witness to the deeds of the noble Shiva, and thus was she moved to dedicate her being to that selfsame cause. 'Twas this devotion that granted her the power of a primal. So she was able to control it herself. Not getting any funny ideas, are you? Just thinking aloud, that's all. Anyway, we'd better get going. Our journey leadeth to a great glacier situated in the northernmost region of the Empty. I'll get us there as quickly as I can. It's time to draw out the ether. I was thinking. That I should go with you this time. I want to be the vessel for Shiva. Being still and passive by nature, ice is the element that is the most strongly aligned to light. I'll need to get close and use my own abilities as well as Eden's draw it out, so that the Oracle of Light becomes the Oracle of Ice. I cannot claim to be in favor of this stratagem, and yet the primal we encountered in the source was summoned in much the same manner. The inherent advantages are undeniable. Absolutely out of the question. Have you forgotten what Kaharu does to the primals we summon? I'm not about to stand by and watch as she and Reen beat the tar out of each other. In any case, the ether only returns to the Empty once the creature's been slain, although it seems you haven't taken that into consideration yet. Presumably, there's a safe way to disperse it, but it's still far too risky. I thought you had more sense, Reen. It's not as bad as it sounds. Were the Diform entity as volatile as the primals we have previously summoned, it would be logical to assume that, in her role as conduit, Reen would be hard-pressed to retain control. Kaharu would have no recourse but to defend herself by any means necessary, else her life be forfeit. I know it's dangerous, but I can't let that hold me back. Please, I've got to try. But I don't see why this is even necessary in the first place. You never had to take risks like this before the other elements. Eden possesses almost infinite power. But what would happen if it began acting without my intervention? If it started to feed on the ether, just like the other signators, it would undo all of our hard work. 'Tis a disconcerting eventuality, and one which cannot be dismissed. I'm worried that even if we realign the elements, things will eventually return to how they were following the flood. But if I train Eden how to nurture the environment rather than drain the life from it, we can leave it to take care of the empty in our place. I'll channel the ether through myself and show Eden how it's done. This isn't some house pet we're dealing with. If it all goes wrong, what then? I know this all sounds like I'm taking a leap of faith, but it has been a gamble every step of the way. We've managed to come this far because of faith, in ourselves and in each other. I've made my feelings on the matter perfectly clear, but what say you, Kaharu? I'll hold back as much as possible. Rean, I suppose that if you've got your heart set on this, there's no point in trying to dissuade you. Just don't do anything reckless. Is that clear? Ask Crystal. This is going to work, I promise. I'll make sure of it. Well, for all our sakes, I certainly hope so, because if the primal takes over, it'll be fine. With all of you by my side, I know whatever happens, it'll work out in the end. All of us? I hope you're not including me. I can't even deal with my own problems, never mind yours. It's enough just knowing you're here. Anyway, I've decided to take a leaf out of your book. I do what I want, when I want. I've made my decision, so now I have to see it through. Yes, but this is a different kettle of fish altogether. Well, the point is that this is what I want, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it work. So, this is how much it means to you. Unlock, unlock, unlock. Memories of Shiva envelop your mind. I don't know how, but I can see her too. This might actually work. And now I sit. Comfortable midnight. actually DPS fighting for this one. That's interesting. Okay, I can't quite get new gear for my monk just yet. The longest part whenever I stream the raids is just waiting to get into said raids every time, without fail. Chase Charlie off here. Where did you chase Charlie off here? Here's that people. This is always the longest part. Every time I stream raids, it's just waiting to get into the raid. Midnight. as long as the DPS is giving up. Okay, we've reached the 10-minute or the 14-minute mark. Will it pop at the 14-minute mark? I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Isn't that right, Mr. Midnight? Isn't that right? Oh, got 2 healers and 4 DPS now. We just need tanks. We literally just need tanks. And when the DPS get up again, that's okay. Finding a DPS isn't hard, it's finding the tanks and healers that is really difficult to do. Meanwhile, I just sit here waiting for the queue to pop. Just sitting here waiting. find your foot, Midday. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? Alright. Come on. Come on, the queue for the other one didn't even take like a minute. Oh, we've hit the 14-minute mark and my queue still has not popped. Please don't let this take 6 hours again. Oh, yay! Come on, co-healer, wake up! Wake up, co-healer! Wake up! Yes!
I call upon the power of Shiva.
Green, this is a horrible idea. There to her cross?
No! She's lost control! You've got to stop her!
Fools, you would stoke the fires of conflict.
Yes.
The light shall usher in peace.
This down.
Such impudence!
Yep.
Resplendent ice, grant me strength. Shatter!
There goes the monk. Yeah, you did. Oh, the poor monks.
Your blood shall freeze!
You know what? Close enough. Take it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Shatter!
This.
The light shall usher in peace.
No. Still no. Oh.
Such impudence!
I was paying attention. That's what I want.
Tranquility must be restored to the land.
How do you have 6 vulnerability stacks? No, I probably don't want to know. Got it.
Woo! Darkness, speak on!
I'm just gonna put this down.
Light consume you!
No. Good. You take this.
Impudence!
Ow.
Resplendent ice, grant me strength.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Shatter!
And nobody fell off that time. Almost.
The light shall usher in peace.
got it all.
Such power! I can't!
Oh, there I am.
The light! It's too much for her to bear! Ugh, she won't last much longer!
Gaia, go. Gaia, go.
Enough of this! Power of darkness, answer my call! Ugh! Ugh! Yeah!
Woo!
Damn this light! Damn it all!
Go, Gaia, go. Go, go, go.
I won't give up! Not on my future! Our future! I want to see what tomorrow will bring!
Come on. Got it. You okay, Gaia? I will do that. I got the wind-up ring! Yes! Where are you? Yes! I got the wind-up ring! Okay, Machinist, have fun. Rain! You're there. I heard you. What happened to Shiva? Is she still in control? No, she's gone. But Gaia... What? That hammer. It matches your dress. Oh. I see you back to your normal idiotic self. Look, isn't it pretty? Maybe we could take it with us. Ice tends to melt, you know. Not this sort. Well, if you say so. Anyway, it might even make a nice necklace. That's a brilliant idea. Wilt thou not rush to her aid? Perhaps I'm getting slow in my old age, because it would seem Gaia's beaten me to it. To think that she would be the one to break the ice. God damn it, Thancred. They may have gotten off to a rocky start, but I think they'll make quite the pair. Is that a hint of melancholy I detect in thy voice? Something akin to a pining mother bird whose chicks have flown the nest. Father bird, if you don't mind, but you're not entirely wrong. Still, when the day finally comes to say goodbye, it hurts me to know she won't be alone. After that, we can go to the second serving for coffee biscuits. Fine, you win. If they're anything less than perfection itself, I'll never let you live it down. If they're not to your liking, there are plenty of other things to try. I suppose we both deserve a little treat after all that hard work. We certainly do. Aw, they're bonding. There we were, laughing as if we had not a care in the world. Fleeting though it was in that moment, I was content. But my life was never meant to be so simple. I'm so sorry, everyone. I clearly have a long way to go before I can handle that kind of power. But we achieved what we set out to do, as I had faith we would. So without further ado, let's return to camp and admire our work. I'll take that. It's life. I can feel all the revitalized elements working in harmony. I've always believed he didn't have the power to restore the empty, but I never expected it to happen so quickly. I never did get the hang of summoning primals correctly. Judging by Thankman Uriante's reactions, it seems most of them were barely recognizable. Fine bit for me to worry, but are you sure your memory is alright? Though thou hast grasped the basic principles of summoning, it beareth repeating that such diform entities are not the product of the memory alone. Nay, myriad other factors contribute to the corporeal manifestation, in a process not unlike the techniques employed in creation magic. I wonder if the effects from the rebalanced ether will spread to the rest of the empty. Perhaps we'll just have to wait and see. Besides, I'm sure we could all do with the rest. I must say, Reen, it's refreshing to see you take a more measured approach for a change. Well, if my experience here has taught me anything, it's that I shouldn't rush into things unprepared. And I've also learned that there are some problems that can't be solved alone. Is that so? Since you freed me from Yumor, I've met all sorts of kind people who've gone out their way to help me. I thought that I should do everything in my power to repay their kindness and make the world a better place. But now, more than ever, I realize that there's a limit to what I can achieve by myself. Even though I was able to summon Shiva, I couldn't control such vast amounts of ether. If Gaia hadn't been there for me, I might never have returned to normal. I could say the same about you. I was trapped in a nightmare, but you freed me. It seems we're more alike than I thought. We might not be able to do everything by ourselves, but if we look out for each other, then we can face our problems together. That's if you don't mind? No, it's fine, really. If things don't work out, we can always go our separate ways. But on the other hand, if I can resist the urge to punch you whenever you annoy me, which I must say is quite often, I have no objections to staying around. You mean it? Oh, thank you, Gaia. May I suggest we continue this conversation on Meringue? Though the empty may now support its foliage, the land's normalization hath but begun, and to linger over long still entaileth risks. Is aught the matter, Thancred? Nothing you need worry about. Let's go. Before we do anything else, we should report to Yelford. He'll want to know how we've been getting on in the empty. Speaking of Mortsuk, there was a snack of some sort that caught my eye last time. I can't quite describe it, but it looked squidgy. Despite a strong suspicion that I may live to regret it, I'd like to try one. Oh, I think I know the one you mean. They might not be much to look at, but I bet they taste amazing. Perhaps we could also try a pot of those jellied wrigglers or whatever they're called. I'll even let you take the first bite. Ew, no thank you. First coffee biscuits, now worms and jelly. Heavens forbid the two of you might actually eat some proper food. Gaharu, may I ask a favor of thee? While Thancred and I return onto the Crystarium to inform our comrades of our recent exploits, I should have thee accompany Reed and Gaia to Mortsuk. Whee! Over here. Why is the music here so calm? I love it. Alright, who am I speaking to? You, wait. Mender first. Oh, my gear wasn't that bad. Eh, oh well, still got my stuff prepared. I shall sell as well, Miss Gaia. It will be once we get out of this desert town. If I have to spend another night in that dingy little room, I shall scream. terribly sorry to hear that the accommodation was less than satisfactory. I'll investigate the ability of more comfortable lodgings post-haste. Yes, I think we'll be staying in Mortsuk, at least for the time being. It might take a while for me to write the report, as our expedition was rather eventful. Kaharu, I'd really appreciate everything you've done, and I'm sorry for all the trouble I put you through. You're still fretting about that, are you? What's done is done. Besides, it all worked out in the end, didn't it? You're right. Now, how about we treat ourselves... Now, how about that treat we promised ourselves? They might not have coffee biscuits here, but I've heard the regular cakes are to die for. Or is that you'll die from eating them? Only one way to find out, I guess. I'm sure trying the local delicacies will keep us occupied between writing reports and thinking about the next plan of action. Hopefully, we'll have another chance to visit the Empty to see how things are coming along. And don't even think about leaving me behind. Okay, Gaia. Okay. Yay! Oh! Oh, I can't do the next part. I literally cannot do the next part. That's, I did not realize I actually had to do that part of the MSQ to unlock the next part. That's interesting. I am literally blocked from completing Eden right now. Well, in lieu of Eden, I guess, we can do something that I haven't done yet. Over here, now that I've completed the MSQ, there is, and I've done all the role quests, there actually is a little thing over here that I am going to swap to Dark Knight for. There is a little quest over here that you only get once you've done all the role quests. Well, if it isn't the great hunter herself. As if you don't know, all 4 of the cardinal virtues laid low, all with your help. You're the top of the stairs, Kaharu. When the night returned to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon. But never did I dare hope that you might help rid us of those terrible fiends. You surpassed my wildest expectations. Not mine, Glinard. When I first laid eyes on her, I had an inkling that she was the hero we'd been waiting to come all along. Ha! Easy to claim that after the fact. If you'd indulge me, though, I'd love to hear you tell how it all played out. The hunting of the virtues, that is. My word, there's so much more to it than I realized. And there I thought you'd only had to track down the bloody things. Gods, though, the things you learned about the Warriors of Light. So many secrets and details lost over time. And for all their hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought about the flood? I can't say I understand it at all, but it's a bloody tragedy it is. We should gather the others and toast to their memories. Heroes of El, brave and true, to be remembered forevermore. Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you to offer up a fortnight's stock of spirits. Attend to your other customers and let me speak with the hero of here and now. Whatever would I do without your good sense and wisdom? Very well, I'll leave you to entertain her. But don't think we won't be having that drink someday. Karu, I must thank you for sharing with us such incredible tales. 'Tis only right that I repay you in kind. With the ending, that is. With the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues, the devil more deserving of death than any that yet lingers in this world. If your curiosity has been piqued, then meet me atop the balcony overlooking the crystalline mean. I will be waiting there until you do. Yeah, I totally did not realize that the game locks you out the last part of Eden unless you've done 5.3. That's actually quite interesting. Oh, my wind-up ring. Wind-up ring, where are you? There you are. There she is, my wind-up ring. Where am I going? I don't know. Where is she? There she is. You came, as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave well enough alone, or a demon that you could let live, am I right? And this demon is undeniably deserving of death, make no mistake. Cut them down would be just and proper, the act of a goodly person. And that is just who you are. I can see that. No need to go impatient or be offended, my friend. But before you pass judgment on this villain, you need first understand their part in everything. Who they were to the fallen warriors of light, for instance. Of course, right about now, you must be wondering how I know what I know. What a tavern wench of all people has got to do with any of this? Let me tell you then, I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them and bade you join them in their quests. I alone knew what had to be done and what sort of sin it would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal brought to an end. But come, we have many moms ahead of us still, to Calusia and the Codger's Crook. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Yeah, we are going on an adventure now. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I literally did not know I would be locked out of the final part of Eden. I do apologize for that. There we go. I do apologize for that. I did not realize I would be locked out of the final part of Eden until I did 5.3. Well, now I guess I know for if I ever decide to run this again. You're accustomed to life on the road, I see, as am I. Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here is where it began, where Arbird first met Lamette. Still young and lacking in experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making. Even then, the keen-eyed could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, after joining with other dear companions, Brandon and Renderay. And one other, an elven woman, not half bad with the sword. But perhaps you are already asking the question, who? There are 5 warriors of light in all, but she would make 6. Indeed, after adding in Albert, there does seem to be one too many. But believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history, and her name was Silva. Though I doubt I need convince you of this truth, when you walked in the Virtue's memories, you saw her time and time again, did you not? Then you saw the true villain, the traitor responsible for all their woes. Let's continue the story elsewhere, to Amarang in the Fields of Amber. Alright. Over to Amarang. There she is. You saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name in Calusia. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale, and you will learn. Silva had joined the others before they first met Nalbert. After the party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines. Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, then a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. After another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground, they had no choice but to work together to lay it low. But to their dismay, even after its death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked to each other in confusion, Nalbert strode towards the beast's body and grabbed hold of a curious stone. A stone brimming with untold ether that he has sought out that he might harness its potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift. But so powerful was the stone that it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat. And so, when faced with the choice between one life and countless others, Nalbert wept and shattered the stone. He had held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice, he was judged a hero, and in that instant, a warrior of light was born. In life, Nalbert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity were admired by all. Little wonder that in death he would retain his virtue. But as Albert mourned the friend he lost forever, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment, for they had taken the first step on their path towards becoming true heroes, brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you might wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika, to the Zatia swamps. We must trace the steps as they were taken to understand the depth of her treachery. To Raktika. am I a wolf? Alright, where are you? Where are you? There you are. This place is too familiar to you, no? From days recent and long since past. After the events in Almarang, Ardbert and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges, and in pursuit of another, they came to Raktika. While here, the hunter Renderay learned that the notorious mark, Balam Quidst, was near, and so, under the cover of darkness, she slipped away from the others to slay the beast by herself. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what her motive was. Balam Quidst had robbed her of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress the balance. Moreover, she would not dare risk the lives of her new comrades, so terrified as she was at the mere possibility that she might have to relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balam Quidst alone, and would have surely died for it, had Ardbert and the others not arrived in time to help. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, and her resolve, she was chosen by Hydaelyn. And from that day forward, Renderay swore never again to betray her comrades' trust, to share with them the triumphs and the tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. The bravest, most courageous hunter that ever was, that moment would define what she became in life and in death. Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer Silva looked on, yet more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, unaware that they were dancing to her tune. The journeys continued, and so must ours, to Ilmeg and Ligiha. Up here. And we go in here. Alright. There you are. Pretty, isn't it? As beautiful now as it was then, you saw it too, would you not agree? With the death of Balam Quidst, the legend of Ardbert and his comrades had grown larger than ever. Thus emboldened, they came to the kingdom of Vobert. Vobert had long been troubled by what some had dubbed a magical plague. Innocents found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom's knights had no choice but to put down ere the oh my god, no, my brain is just not working for that word, spread. Brandon had been one such knight. In his youth he had served the princess Saldia faithfully. only to be cast out for a single mistake. Thus did he take to the road, where he met Ardbert and the others. Having grown stronger and wiser and more respected, Brandon felt it was time to return and redeem himself, and with the aid of his comrades he did just that. Todrick, the court mage, was unmasked as the mastermind of Vobert's misery, and by disgraced Knight's blade was he brought to justice. But with his dying breath, Todrick cursed the Princess Soldia, sentencing her to a fate worse than death. At her behest did he raise up his blade, and for the sake of the kingdom, strike down his liege lady. With that single stroke he forever changed, though nearly not in the way that was necessary. He stood at the precipice and almost forsook his compassion for unflinching judgment, but mercifully turned aside at the last. Thus did he find and embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together and strives for the greater good. 'Tis a long, difficult road from which many stray, settling for simpler moralities, but I would expect no less from the man who became, Dikaiosin. You really wanted me to say that name again, didn't you? His sacrifice would strengthen the transformation, 'twas fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so too did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. But it was not yet finished. To Calusia they returned, and so must we. Tomra and the next chapter of our tale await. Tomra. Where am I going? Oh. Duh. I could just teleport there. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just stupid. Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Words of their deeds in Vobert spread like wildfire, and their legend grew ever larger. But for all their success, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice. They pressed deeper into the depths of Raktika, toward ancient Ronka. 'Twas there that the dwarf Lamet came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, she would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, wont to withdraw from the outside world that their many traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help. But Lamet would not abide this. She vowed to save her ailing kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this, she was banished by the Council of Elders. This came as no surprise, for she had made her peace with it long before. When she stood in that ancient ruin and called upon forgotten guardians to grant her forbidden knowledge, she knew then what the price would be. She had weighed her traditions and identity against the lives of those she loved and made her choice, though it pained her terribly and in ways only a dwarf could understand, and Heidelin, it would seem. Through hardship and sacrifice was the new warrior of light forged, a healer that knew more than any the value of life, and would do anything to see it preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would nearly complete the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come, And soon then, very soon. For Ardbert and his comrades have stumbled upon evidence of the larger design. Threads linking together the desperate troubles of the realm. A name spoken only in whispers, the Shadowkeeper. A singular force sowing chaos and discord throughout Northrend and to an unknown end. The Warriors of Light truly wish to save their world, then they would need to confront this villain amongst villains. And at the end of their exhaustive search, at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms? The answer to that awaits us in Lakeland, our final destination. The villain yet walks among us, Gaharu, unknown and unpunished. Go on ahead and wait for me at Laxen Loft. There are preparations to which I must first attend. I don't think it really matters where in Lakeland I teleport to. Come, Tiny Green, we away! Here we are. Nice. Damn you, Silva! We were comrades in arms! Friends! That we were, and that we are. Everything I have said, everything I felt, it was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadowkeeper! What in the hell was this for? For you, for every one of you, to forge you into heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend no matter the cost. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A mournful hunter scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. A disgraced knight who yearned to steal his heart in justice's name. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A troubled healer torn between tradition and love. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. And their leader, an adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his own dearest comrades, who must now bring his axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek, the keeper of shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle will this world be shattered and its souls saved. Silva! Harper Angie, yeah. Saw it all, did you? I thought you might. Mother's gift has a knack for showing us exactly what we need to see, if not when we want to, or when. They knew me as Silva, but my real name, it doesn't matter. Like you, I am not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell too dark in a calamity that mirrored the one which nearly claimed this world. I was one of several heroes who failed to save it. The boy, Unukalhai, I have glimpsed him in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, I heeded the words of the Asians, and, that I might redress the balance, I chose to come here and hasten a rejoining of worlds. A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium, but there was a solution, a single solution, I believe. Were a flood of light to consume this shard in its entirety, it would be of no use. The Asians made it clear that it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to light, fledgling heroes in the making. I would bring together Arbor and his comrades and groom them for a higher purpose. I would play the part of a comrade and guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them, until finally, once their warriors of light brave and true, I would reveal myself as a warrior of darkness and extinguish their radiance forever. Thus would this world be primed for a rejoining and the source for a calamity. The Asians who called themselves Mitron and Logrif were confident they would succeed, and indeed, Arbor and the others rose to the occasion, as I knew they would. It was not to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him had made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror, I had grown stronger for it. Had he but embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy. He chose love, and I was undone. The rest you know. He set out Mitron and Logrif and granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and then the flood came and washed it away. In the wake of my betrayal, I looked on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as all fell to ruin. Denied death, then and now, and perhaps ever after, as a fragment of my essence endures. But then, one day, years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as cardinal virtues. It coincided with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized. A defense against forces being marshaled to undo my failure. I can but assume the Asians planted the idea in Valtry's head. They were his creations after all, and with the graves in Yolmoran territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Who am I to speak, you may think, when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image, I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with blackest sin, and I will not pretend that it can never be otherwise. But this act, this I could not ignore. If the Asians were going to such lengths, then surely others would cross the rift in due time, and so I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Celia and as her take up residence in the Crystarium, where I would take measures to bring together the most ambitious of adventurers, individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy the Ascians feared more than any came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join the hunter's quest, and together unmake Valtry's simulacra and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did, Kaharu. The virtues are no more. But the one ultimately responsible for their creation, the devil who set them on their doomed path, lingers still. You know all there is to know of the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in the shadows is yours, and there are no more secrets to share. And so I ask you now to grant me that which Ardbert could not. Death. You still have a duty to others. No, don't do this. Don't you spare me like he did. How could you stand there and say I deserve to live, knowing everything I did, the lives I destroyed, the chaos I wrought? The Warden's pale in comparison. Surely there is no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper. Death is no comfort to the living. Twould be for my own benefit, that I cannot deny. And if I'm to indulge in one final act of selfishness, you'll make me do it myself, won't you? Make me confront the cowardice of it, the ugly truth that I'd run away than try to seek atonement. Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, in helping others to understand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and continue to assist Glinard, while spreading the forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. You had been good friends, you and Ardbert, in another life. Maybe you and I as well. Alright, back to the Crystarium. Away! Bitch, that's a Tuesday for me, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Are you okay, Taru? Are you okay? I tell you, I am not at all accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about in it is enough to tax my strength. And fighting? Ugh. Any one of Captain Lena's recruits could probably put me flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Yeah, I know. It is actually very ironic considering, we were in another life because our bird was a shard of our soul. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words in the passage of time will see their legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance, Kaharu. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated, as all heroes deserve. Okay, there is another part to this quest, which, again, I'm pretty sure, like the last part of Eden, is locked behind 5.3. So, that being said, I don't know what to do. I didn't realize the last part of Eden would be locked behind 5.3. Oh my goodness. I did not realize the last part of Eden would be locked behind 5.3. Well, I'm running 5.2 tomorrow and 5.3 on Thursday, so this was a very short stream than I originally thought it was going to be. Because again, of that lock, I literally cannot do the end of Eden until I have finished 5.3. So, short stream today? As planned though, I will be doing 5.2 tomorrow, and I will be doing 5.3 on Thursday. And then on Monday, I am going to start just kind of focusing on the weapon series and the last part of Eden. And then the Yorha raid. So after I've done 5.3 on Thursday, I will be focusing on the raids before finishing off the patches. So until then, thank you for joining this very not planned short stream. I did not plan it to be this short. I am so sorry. But thank you for joining me, thank you for chatting with me, and I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Bye!